A look together through the news and records of our times as we try to shed light upon the unvarnished truth. Thanks for coming back to listen to this episode where we're going to talk about some things that have just been bugging me lately. Some things I wasn't sure about how exactly to make an episode about each individual topic and make it something consumable or entertaining enough to watch. So I figured I'd just kind of do a general encompassing of all these things. And so today, I'm going to have a lot of questions. Not all of these questions need answers, but I hope that we all do try to find our own answers to these questions. Now, as referenced by the title of this video, my first question is, where do we stand? I mean it. Where do we stand as friends? Many friend interactions only occur through text, email, and social media correspondences, or through online gaming. Many friends don't even tell their friends when they might be wrong, or help them through tough times, or pull their friend from unwell situations. Sometimes being a good friend is doing the tough thing, doing the hard thing, saying something tough, or cold, or mean, but in a positive way, or in a way to correct someone, not just to condemn them. Not just to say you're bad because you behaved this way, but here's why this behavior is bad. Here's the implications of that. Let's see if we can correct this. Or where do we stand as strangers? Thanks to a lovely documentary from an independent journalist named Savannah Hernandez, she showed us images coming out of Portland, Oregon, who became soft on crime during the riots of 2020, mind you. Images of a man on the street overdosed and unconscious, while another homeless woman rifles through his pockets. Or where do we stand as bystanders? Women are raped in New York City subways in broad daylight, and people just watch or walk right by. Men, women, and children are being shot at by teenage kids in gangs, many times being murdered by said teenager. Or where do we stand as families? COVID policies, COVID beliefs, political arguments and beliefs, broken homes, druggy homes, alcoholic homes, homes with no dads or no moms. Family members were outcast for not being woke or down with COVID policies. Or where do we stand as a citizenry? I would say we are confused because the very people we look to for information and truth have blinded us. They have blinded us with their own deceit, corruption, treason, felonious activities, child molestation activities, and immoral business dealings. We have been told by the elites that the other is at fault for our situation in life, and so we fight with others. Instead of realizing the elites planned this battle, made the speeches for us, lied for us, twisted our morals and ethics until we couldn't even make a rational or ethical decision for ourselves anymore. How about where do we stand as a country? You're either left or you're right, black or you're white. You're either woke or a fascist, anti-woke or a bigoted racist. As Tom MacDonald would say, we can't even agree what a heartbeat is. We can't even agree that a heartbeat is life on Earth, but apparently we all agree that bacteria is life on Mars. As a country, it's racist to have borders, but every street, every county, every state, every backyard, and even many nations have borders or fences or walls. Okay, let's try another one. Where do we stand as humans? Dr. Fauci has used American taxpayer dollars to debark dogs to have them eaten alive by botflies or sandflies. He had their voice boxes removed, so the doctors performing this study don't have to be haunted by the screams of the dying dogs that they're experimenting on. Or how about in Indiana? A couple adopted a dog just to hang that dog by its own collar on their front porch and stab the dog to death. Or maybe a question more for today's day and age. Where do we stand in relation to information? A computer knows everything, essentially, within seconds. However, for us to read, process, and remember everything that a computer does, it would take us an eternity. There's so much information out there on the internet, and yet so many people still believe lies and deceit. People still listen to abhorrent liars and habitual con artists. Or maybe I should ask, where do we stand as voters? I say it is your duty and your responsibility to vote in elections, assuming you can legally do so. Others say it's just a privilege. People who don't vote then complain about how terrible America is. And yet many of these people, not all, but to include these others, people who are socialists, communists, and Marxists who hate this country, they refuse to leave this supposedly awful and racist nation to go to their own kind of utopia states. This is only several categories, and I ask you, again, where do we stand? We are not a nation united. We are most certainly a nation divided. As I've said many times on my channel, I'm a realist. I would like to be an optimist. Sometimes I can sound pessimistic, but I just try to, add 1 + 1, and that should equal 2. I don't hope that one day 1 + 1 will be 3, and I don't think that 1 + 1 will ever equal 0, right? Reality is what it is. You can be excited about it. You can hope the future will change, or you can just accept reality as it is, kind of like me. So I ask you, how do we go about fixing these things? Do we want to? I mean, really, are we so content with just being more angry, more jealous, having more greed, more envy of our neighbors? Is that really the path we want to go down? I mean, essentially, if you ask me, the fix to the majority of these is to quit being lazy. Yeah, I said it. Quit being intellectually lazy, physically lazy, emotionally lazy, and spiritually lazy. And while we're at it, intellectually lazy. How do we fix this? We must find it within ourselves first of why we want to fix these things. Just because we want these things fixed, great, that's a dream. That won't bring it to reality. What are we going to do to make the dreams a reality? Again, you have to find that answer for yourself within yourself. I can't answer it for you. For me, the answer is discipline yourself, discipline your mind, and with all respect, discipline those around you. Establish how you will and will not be treated. Are you going to take a bunch of crap from someone that you don't deserve it from? And are you just going to continue to take it because you're passive aggressive or because it's the nice thing to do? No, you must stand up for yourself. Are we going to let the country that we love fall apart because some people hate it and some people think there's bad things going on? No. We need to do our best to educate those foolhardy people, those disillusioned people. We need to convince them and show them the reality of what's happening. And when they continue to deny it and deny it and deny it, that's when I say, as a realist, I have no hope left for you. And that's not a good thing. I get it. If we're going to do this, if we're going to raise ourselves up by the bootstraps, we're going to have to do it as a country, not as individuals doing it here and there. We'll never get anywhere. Everyone has to pitch in for this effort. So what does this country mean to you? What does freedom mean to you? What does your life as you know it actually mean to you? Are you willing to fight and to die for the life that you have? Or are you just willing to let some politician take it away and give it to someone over there? Are you just going to let someone on the street be raped and robbed while they're unconscious? And are you really not going to do a single thing about it? Are you really just going to walk by someone else's daughter, sister, mother being raped and not do anything about it? This video popped up on a channel called Active Self-Protection. Young girl walking down the streets in California. Random guy walking down the streets in California. Guy's walking down the street with scissors. Decides that he's going to stab this girl in the head with these scissors. Never knew her, never met her, never said a freaking word to her. Just as they're walking down the streets, they cross paths. He's about, 6 feet away from her. When they're about this far away, he just lunges right at her, sticks some scissors in her head, keeps on walking about his day. Are we going to allow this to continue? The homelessness in Portland, Oregon, that Savannah Hernandez covers. Are we going to allow the criminality to continue? Are we going to allow this nation to just fall into a complete shithole because we're too lazy, because we're too scared and immoral to do the right thing? Answer me that honestly. Say it to my face. Tell me that you're too lazy and scared to do the right thing. That way I at least can understand your reasoning behind things. Otherwise, meet me down in the comments section, and please, as a team, let's figure out how to fix this nation together. All as one. Not like Joe Biden said, I'm going to unite this country with my woke ideological policies. No. How are we going to bring humanity back together again? How are we going to instill morals and values and ethics into people again? It's how you raise your children. I swear, 90% of this comes in how you raise your child. If your child's not socialized by the age of 3, you're screwed. Did you know that? I bet you didn't. There's so much information out there. Good, proper, relevant information that we can find. And we can adjust our lives to live accordingly so we can have a better life. Guess what? That information's out there and it's free thanks to this wonderful thing called the internet. Are you going to take advantage of it? Or are you going to sit there while you're on the shitter and skip this video and keep scrolling through Facebook looking at half-naked chicks? Anyway, I think that brought us to our answer. I hope that you and I see eye to eye, and that you and I think and see some way that this country can be fixed. And I hope that you and I will pursue that together. Again, meet me down in the comments section, because we need to talk about this as a community, as a citizenry, as humanity. We need to talk about how we're going to fix ourselves, how we're going to straighten ourselves up. Because honestly, humanity is kind of a piece of shit right now. A lot of people are assholes, arrogant assholes who are lazy, woefully ignorant, and just blatantly dishonest. And it's because of those people why I'm upset and I lose hope in society some days. But again, it can get better. Through hard fucking work, it can get better. And it starts with you. Anyway, I appreciate you coming back to this episode. As always, I feel it's something that needed to be talked about. And if you think it was as well, please share this video with all your friends and family. Share this message so we can grow this channel and we can eventually become an actual news reporting agency one day. One day in my home state, I'd like to, make a gun range, a tactical gun range. There's very few ranges out in the US that are tactically military sound kind of training. And I want to bring that to civilians. But I got to start somewhere. And this is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start on social media by bringing awareness to the truth, to patriots, to those who love this country. And then together, one day, my friends, we can make our dreams come true together. And we can have a community, and we can build a community. And we'll get there. one step at a time. I post videos a couple times a week, so please subscribe. That way you don't miss the notification when I go live. And as I've been saying lately, you can join me up here on Twitter, Locals, YouTube, Rumble. I'm on all of them at Adams Athenaeum. On some of them, it just doesn't have the apostrophe between the S and the A. So again, I'd like to thank you all for coming back, and I will see you again soon.